Hi, Andrea, band leader for Taba. I introduced you once before to me on a song of mine which was Don't They Know. And when I'm not teaching English or creating video clips, I like gardening. My little garden. Now, for the last 6 weeks or 8 weeks, my workman who normally cleans my garden hasn't come. So I first cleaned this is called an eagle broom, as you might know. I'm not going to spell it for you in case I spell it wrong. Eagle broom is unusual. And I have just put down a very brilliant chemical called Scalex. It looks better than it does look here. But what I've got to do is now, I first cleaned up all the leaves from the central area, patio, and I'm going to now clean it with Scalex, brush it down with water. I maintain 3 fish tanks, one is in the corner there. I maintain the garden, because gardening is my hobby. I'm a Renaissance lady. I like gardens wild. This is my wall. If the neighbors have robbed as usual. People are like that in Sri Lanka. If you're not watching, they'd steal your fingers. Enjoying my life and my freedom. This is another part of my garden. These are all my little fancy ideas here, poles and sticks and tubs in buckets and what have you, but it's quite clean today. I've just seen it after my at least 45 minutes of work picking up the leaves. I've still got a lot more to do on the edges there, but you can't see it. Anyway, and this is my handiwork after yesterday's garden cleaning session. It took about 2.5 hours to do this, as you can see. Maybe you can see the colors well here, but maybe it'll come back better on the video. But I had to clean the whole area. Then I had to cut a channel in the ground here, and I'm using an old tube well to dispose of the water after cleaning the floor. And today I have to sweep up this place. All comes from a man not coming for work, but I must tell you, it's one surefire method of getting your body into shape. I was extremely thin when I had this house to maintain. I must show you some of my old photographs, which were beautiful. Garden. Now, these two areas have to be cleaned still. You notice that there's a lot of scum and dirt and green on the floor. Hi, Mr. Woody. Good morning. How are you? I am busy taking a video of the work I did yesterday. This is Mr. Woody, my favorite student. Come. One of my favorite students. All the others have come and gone. How are you?
Thank you. And you?
I'm good. I'm good. Very well. I'm happy. Yesterday I did a lot of work.
Yesterday?
I did a lot of work. I cleaned the garden.
Clean the garden?
Maybe we'll keep it open for Blackie. Let Blackie go out. All right, Black. Good morning, Blackie. Come. There. Come. This I have to do. This
All clean.
I cleaned
It's clean.
yesterday.
Yes.
But I have to sweep up the sand now because the sand falls from the earth, so I've got so many things to do. So yesterday I didn't do any Facebook posts. Didn't get on Facebook. No time.
No time.
And too tired also.
Yes.
Now, I had actually made more space tables. You notice that little blue pipe thing there? Underneath which I've got my DVD player. And I've got the dialogue unit on top of it because both of them need to breathe. And that's where I've got my record player. I had a stereo setup which I've now transferred to the central cabinet there. But on top of that, I'm able to place plenty of things underneath there. That's what I do with pipes and things which I'm sort of like, I'm a creative person here because I like to think of things, and also they say poverty is the mother of invention. Either that or when things happen and you sort of like realize there's some policy to life, like Archimedes and his water principle and Eureka and the apple theory and gravity and what have you. This is another table that I made, also out of pipes, which is my dining table, my favorite chair, next akin to the one that I sent to Candy. I got my little rose sofa back to Colombo. I helped him bring it into my house. Some of these things we do, we don't know how we do them, but we just have the strength to do that. But I noticed that when we are walking, at least for 20 minutes to 40 minutes a day, it does give you energy and strength in other parts of your body too. Gardening certainly does. I also make pictures, paint. You can see that, paint. That's my grandmother's painting. That's my grandmother's painting. That's my mother's painting over there. And that's another of my mother's painting. I'm still connected to the computer here, you see. So I have the heirlooms of my family here surrounding me. Some of the old furniture, including that old sideboard that I intend to send to Candy. As soon as the property is there and the sitting room is set up, then I might send my record player, but I won't be able to play it for the guests because the fact that if I'm not there, you know, people have a tendency to pilfer things. They're souvenirs. I mean, really, that's really bad, you know, depriving somebody else of something. And then probably they might also pinch the turntable because the fact that they have the records and no record player, but they can go out and buy a record player. I don't know if even record players are available nowadays, are they? Well, that's about enough from me. Signing out, Andrea. Happy to hear from you, and happy to see you, happy to have you watching my videos and clips, and they're about life generally. Enjoy my English lessons. There are spellings and sounds on YouTube. Look for Babs, B-A-B-S, and then you'll find them all. Otherwise, you can look for Multi Andy Cool. A little bit of advertising for myself I never do. Hussein keeps on telling me you never do things, Andrea, for yourself. And I say, I'm used to doing everything for everybody else. He says, well, make it a pleasant change. He calls me a psychologist nightmare. And while on the subject, remember that's always, it's all urgy, not ology. Astrology, psychology, not psychology, not astrology. You've got a couple of other things, but anyway, you watch for them in my, let's say it'll be called, let's say, spellings and sounds. If you try to make it phonetics, nobody will understand it, you see. Okay, bye. Gardening, my favorite. I don't mind getting my hands filthy and my nails all soiled because I do sometimes use lipstick or Q-Tex or lipstick or makeup. Now I've been told to use a cleanser, toner and moisturizer because my skin is supposed to be getting old, so I'm getting old, who cares, got it? But here is an example of repotting, finding hope, and the same thing with children. In a tangle of a webbed mind that has been soiled by a bad education or child abuse or pedophile activities or whatever it is, there's always an element of hope. Never give up on a child, but the child has to show that she's interested and that she wants to reform. If some of them are set in their ways, they will never reform. Now this is what my old pot had lost, and Anuma has just come back with her husband. Now this, I say, has got some hope in it because the fact that it has or maybe it's gone because it's brown and woody, but it doesn't break easily. Got it? So we planted back there. I took it out of the old pot, which is down there somewhere, planted back. And also the other bit of hope is a little bit of green, if you can see that here. Got it? I don't think this camera does close-ups. No, it doesn't do close-ups. What a misery. Anyway, there's a little bit of green in this bark here. And I'm of course keeping all these back here because I could take them out, but you never know where it's going to spring from, you know what I mean? I can take out all the junk stuff and sort of generally clean up the place and, you know, take out what's evidently dead. But you know, the trouble is one never knows what is evidently dead. There are people who have been supposedly coming back from the grave after being dead for 3 minutes, and you know, there's always where there's even death, there seems to be hope. There is, at least in Christianity, there is hope. So, what do you think? Took me 3 hours without interruptions. The student left at 3 o'clock. Now it's about 6 o'clock. That's 3 hours. And that was from a black stones that were all there. I told you, a chemical called Scalex, which I buy from General Chemical Industries. The guy called Sohan is the one who brings it over. Now, I used, actually to flush these stones out, I used a very handy little feature that I've got here. And that's my flow. Yes, it's a lot of water, but it does an effective job of taking the black out from the flow. And it goes in there successfully. Instead of using the whole pipe, which is a real curse. But what it does is basically it floods the flow and it gets rid of all the Scalex and the water, and just press up it after a couple of minutes. Then of course it's back to hard work, and I use the edges which cannot be done. See, now all this is flushed, and that's dirty water still, as you can see. And there's a floating debris here, which is wood or plastic. You know, plastic is horrible. Pieces of packaging. But basically, what it does is it flushes all the dirt from under here, places that you can't get. You know what I mean? Can you see? One under there, like for example. And now the water is generally running clean. I had to pick up and put the pot away, of course, and then I had to sweep it up manually first, get all the sand off. And then sometimes I slip and fall also here, but I don't mind. I mean, if you're probably doing this so far. Actually, I had a little interesting exercise. I told Andy, you hold that's my coconut tree there, you see. And I told Andy, you hold the ladder while hugging the coconuts. And she obligingly did. And what happened was, I fell off the ladder. I fell against my fish tank, which I also cleaned today. I cleaned fish tank yesterday, fish tank today, and now I'm rubbing. I do this myself, you know. Now, I had a little batik floor here. It was all covered in dirt and wood. And it's now healed. It's a lot of hard work, I'm telling you, but you feel good. You know, you feel good. Then you take some water from here and put it to the edges like that. So that then the dirt that remains on the side. Now, I have run out of Scalex because I asked our dear friend Sohan to bring it for me. The guy promises, doesn't deliver. You know, and Blackie wants to go out. I think, Blackie, let's open the door for you. Columbine now given me one miserable fruit from the day it was planted, got it cut, paid $3,500 to the guy, and then was told that I'm supposed to go out and stand naked in the garden and abuse it and hit its trunk and say that you bring me shame because you haven't given me fruit. I said I'll probably be arrested by the police. You know, one wonders whether these workers are being arrested by the police on charges of obscene behavior or nudity than to have a mango tree that doesn't produce fruit. But in all fairness, it does provide me shade, and it also filters the stink of the toilet from University Grounds Commission next door. You know, these are sort of like futuristic events, you know, in 2000 years from now. If anybody's even having YouTube, now they'll be having Space Age. They won't be having YouTube and all that stuff. And YouTube would have gone to the 30th century maybe, or 40th century, God knows. They might use our little video recordings as a history. History, why not? Right, I think I've done enough for today. Clean one fish tank, clean the patio did yesterday, clean the fish area, it's quite good. Clean the steps. I'm going to put this family in the dustbin. I don't know who's going to eat it or drink it. And all nice and spanking clean. I love the glitter of water. I must tell you, I've got a thing about water. I've got a fear of water too. I will never go into a sea. Never. I always tell the good Lord, I respect you, I trust you, I believe you, but I'm not going into the sea. Right, that's it for today. God bless. This is my little jasmine plant, and I'm hoping will give me flowers. I must do. There's a thing called Yara, which is a fertilizer, which is good for plants which are flowering plants. And my little num tree there is not producing any fruit because the fact that I did something bad to it, it always punishes me. But it comes me once a year supposedly. So, bye from me again. Must admit I did a good job there, right? It's beautiful. Old camera, new camera. And that's my little patio that I did in Angela. I don't know. Just got a parrot on it. For creativity, I put color and creativity in my house, you know. Because I can't stand these dull, drab. I'll show you my previous plants and my gardens. I'm sure you'll appreciate them. Anyway, have fun. Bye.